Hello everyone, welcome back to the Forest Job. It is the day that we've been looking forward to for some time. It's the day of the final game in the career of Guerrero. But before we get to that, I want to go into the schedule because I remembered a little bit too late that I had promised to let you guys know about what the previous results were uh, since we last enjoyed each other's company. And honestly, I can't remember what the last game before that was. So, 1-0 win against West Ham. Then it was a 0-0 against Southampton. Then we had a very encouraging performance against Fulham, 3-0. Very, very good performance. Two goals by Hernandez and one from Centurion. Then a 1-0 victory against Brighton and Hove Albion. Centurion coming up again and scoring one of the strangest goals I've ever scored in my life. I'll try to describe it. I wish I'd recorded it. Essentially, Hadji just, for some reason, I thought I would try the early cross combination of buttons, which is L1 plus the crossing button, which in my case is square, but in most people's case is the circle button. And the problem was Hadji wasn't exactly close enough to the sidelines for it to actually look like a cross. So what he ended up doing was pinging it into the front three really low and hard. Centurion just took it with the outside of his right foot, running from left to right inside the penalty area, took one touch, looked up, slotted it into the bottom right hand corner. It was a thing of beauty. After that, it was the game that I told you guys about last time, which was the 2-2 draw with Leeds United. We took a 1-0 win, surrendered the lead to Leeds, who scored two pretty sloppy defensive goals. If I have to admit something, it's that we defended absolutely awfully in this game. And then we managed to claw it back to get a point out of that game in the end. A 2-2 draw, not the worst result in the world by any means. Then, obviously, you guys were with us for the final game of the season, which we won 1-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Today, we're taking on the old boys. We've been doing a little bit of transfer jiggery pokery. And what I will say is, until literally minutes before this video started recording, I would have come on here and said, don't hold out hope for anything in particular. Our ranking in the world pyramid of football has improved. We are now the 99th ranked club team in world football, which is going to help us to hopefully attract a few more players of a decent caliber. However, most Premier League players are still a little bit skeptical about joining us. That being said, I do have a signing confirmed, which I will share with you next time, and I do have another iron in the fire, and I don't want to say too much at this point because I've had to go back and renegotiate the contract slightly. But hopefully tomorrow I will be able to tell you guys all about it. And these transfers could lead to another old boy leaving us. I'll say that much. Right, so today's game is Nottingham Forest versus Old Boys. It is the testimonial of Mr. Guerrero himself. And as he walks out alone onto the pitch, we send him nothing but positive thoughts. His career in a Forest shirt on this channel has been a lot more successful than his career in real life, where apparently he left during the transfer window. He went back to Spain. Didn't score a single competitive goal for Nottingham Forest, but those of you who follow Forest, and I have been following their results as well, will know that they've been having an absolutely torrid time of it. Hopefully, things will pick up for them and they can avoid the drop because the results that I've seen don't leave me with much hope for their future. Right now, let's talk about the team for today. Guerrero, of course, starts up front with Lolly on the right and Centurion on the left. Hadji has pretty much nailed down his starting berth alongside Arcas now. Kabai is an excellent player to have on the bench, however, especially if Busquets is not having the best of days, because Kabai, as we know, can cover defensively. You look at the defensive point of that hexagon in the bottom of the screen there, it shows that he's decent enough defensively. Maybe not anywhere near as good as Yates, who is my preferred option for the defensive midfield role. And you never know, there may be movement in the transfer window for a a more suited defensive midfielder in this position. Busquets can do a really good job, but I feel like we could benefit from a proper out-and-out nasty bastard at the back. Now, as for the rest of the team, it is the standard lineup in defence of Zafuik at right back, Worrell and Bremer across the back, and Willems is going to be taking the left midfielder role today. In goal is Newble. I believe it's pronounced Newble. Nobody's told me any differently, so I'm just going to assume that I'm right and carry on. That is, of course, the British way. And that is our first team as it stands at the moment. As for the other players that are going to be making up the bench, you can see that we've got a full bench to choose from, except for one player. I'm not going to bother with another goalkeeper. We're just going to go with Samba, and that should do us. Actually, that should pretty much do us as far as the lineup today. So we're going to get straight into the match. I've just had a message come up telling me that the battery on my controller is low. I've tried plugging it into a USB slot, but it doesn't seem to be charging. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's kick off. The team on the other side, you can see Edinson Cavani and David Silva, joined by Jose Callejon and Bonaventura, who's a player that some of you will be very familiar with. And I spied David Luiz on that starting sheet in a defensive midfield role, which any Arsenal fan will tell you we've seen him play in defensive midfield, and it wasn't necessarily his greatest moment in a red and white shirt. It's only happened once. There's probably a much larger sample size elsewhere of him doing that role and doing it relatively well. But as far as Arsenal fans are concerned, it's not necessarily a role that he's built for. So here we are at the City Ground. The Garibaldi red shirts of Nottingham Forest versus the mint green shirts of the Pro Evolution Soccer Old Boys. The retirement match to end all retirement matches, and something that a lot of you will be aware of is the fact that this is not a gimme. This match can be very, very difficult because even though these players are retiring, a lot of them are still more than good enough to make it into a lot of sides, and Edinson Cavani is going to do his best to show us that as Worrell manages to mop up that little mistake, and we come out again. But it's a very effective high press being employed by the old boys here. Guerrero tried to steer it around the corner for Lolly. It didn't quite happen for him, unfortunately. And now here's Guardado on the left-hand side. Plays it back centrally to Acerbi, who hasn't got much choice but to play it long. And Worrell deals with that admirably. The English centre-back. Oh, Guerrero just offside there. It's always been an issue for him, keeping himself in an onside position. But goodness me, if he had managed to stay onside, that could have opened up an opportunity for Centurion on the left-hand side there. Already saw him spinning with the ball towards Centurion on the left-hand side. Just couldn't quite keep himself in an onside position to take advantage of that ball in, as Bonaventura plays it through to Guardado. Guardado and Hadji fighting for the ball, and Hadji wins it. Misses out though, because the second Old Boys player was waiting for him there. Here's Guardado. Plenty of space if he wants to shoot. David Luiz in an advanced position. Navas to Callejon. And brilliant from Willems. Oh dear. Oh dear. Brilliant save by Newble. Such a simple ball to play, but we just cocked it up, and it really showed us our defensive weaknesses there. Everybody trying to get forward, trying to... Oh dear, Callejon! How we have escaped that, I do not know. Bremer. Centurion. Centurion plays it back. He's playing it a little bit safe there. Bremer sees Worrell, the other split centre-back on the other side. Safwik was just backtracking at the very moment the Worrell would have preferred him to be making the run on. Arkas just knocks it back to Bremer. Now Willems, he's looking for Arkas and he finds him. Oh, Arkas couldn't keep it at his feet. It's an interesting pass from the centre-back Bremer. It's not harmed us, but under a little bit more pressure, I wonder if I would have tried that. I don't think I would. This really is a free hit of a game. Doesn't count for points, doesn't count for prestige. It's literally just a game to say goodbye to a player who has served us excellently over the years. And Cavani now looking to break. Busquets gets in between him and the ball, manages to win it back. Well done, Oriol Busquets. Arkas again, just not able to thread the needle. Problem is, I'm not playing high percentage balls in those areas. I'm trying to thread a needle and it's not quite working for me. Maybe I need to lick the tip of that thread just to help it on its way. As Cavani breaks the offside trap and away he comes with the ball, but Bremer has him in his back pocket at the moment. It's a shame his passing isn't up to the same standard as his defensive work, because the old boys get it straight back here and they have it on the right hand side with Callahan. Can he find a cross? Well, he puts one in, but it ends up drifting harmlessly over the crossbar. It goes behind for a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. Nubel out to Worrell. Bremer found on the opposite flank. Brings the ball forward. Here's Busquets into Hadji. Hadji has the turn of pace to escape the attentions of his marker there. Willems, early ball in, but Sirigu more than capable of claiming that one. Oh, here comes Busquets on the break, through to Guerrero. He's through on... No, he's just pulled back by his marker. Here's Guerrero again, though. Probably should have taken the shot on, but Lolly is available to eventually deliver the shot himself. Here's Safwik in a dangerous area, finds the cross. And there's the half-time whistle, just as Nottingham Forest begin to find their shooting boots. It's 0-0 here at half-time. We'll see what can be done about that in the second half as we go into the tactics. We'll play slightly shorter between players. I'm just wondering about if we can make a change. It worked for us last time. Let's throw Hernandez off onto the pitch at right wing forward. It's not somewhere that I envisioned him playing very often at all. But given the fact that I want Guerrero to get 90 minutes under his belt in this last game, or at the very least 89, so that he can come off to a hero's welcome at the very end. Oh, Cavani, 3 men around him, none of them able to find a tackle. So Safwik's beaten. Here's Cavani. Oh, it's a great save by Nubel. Can Willems escape danger? Yes, he can. Lovely little bit of play by Willems. And Arkas finds him again on this left-hand side now. Out to Hadji. Hernandez to Hadji. Out to Safwik. Cross into the box, Guerrero running for it. Couldn't quite get there in time though. Oh, Guerrero completely misses his shot. It's an air shot, the likes of which you rarely see in professional football. Here's Bremer. Cross into the box. Guerrero trying to get underneath it, but the defender gets there first. Here's Hadji. Oh, what a goal! By Yonis Hadji. So little backlift in that left foot, but goodness me, didn't he hit it well? Everybody congratulating for a job well done. Guerrero making a nuisance of himself there. Arcas with the ball into the box, or just outside the box actually. And look at the finish from Hadji, the goalkeeper, no chance at all. It's a real net bulger. Good control, and then just shaped it around the goalkeeper. Lovely finish from a very, very tidy player. So here we go. What answer do the old boys have to that attack? And as I was saying before the game kicked off, Hadji really has earned his place in this starting lineup now. He's getting goals, he's getting assists, he's putting the work in, and it's not just the attacking work where he's putting the effort in. Defensively, he's... Oh, that's a great goal! Edinson Cavani out of nowhere. And yes, I normally roll my eyes at conceding that kind of goal, but what a finish from a player who is about to hang up his boots. The defenders, all of the players actually, having a little bit of an inquest as to what went wrong there. But I think you can just pretty much sum it up as Edinson Cavani being superb. What a finish. It is, though, again, that finish. Back to goal, turn the man, take the shot. I don't mind it when it's a player of Cavani's ability. But if I see Billy Sharp doing that to me next season, I'm going to be furious. As Gamero comes on for Cavani. It's actually Cavani's last input into the match. What a way to leave professional football. Sticking one in the back of the onion bag. And so we were asking, what answer could the old boys have to that? Well, immediately they showed us. Now we need the boys to put a bit of a shift in here. David Silva to Wijnaldum. There's Gamero, who looks like a fairly muscular player. Got a good pace as well. He's in behind here. Can he find a cross? Oh, he can't, but he was so close to doing so. Bonaventura chasing after the ball. Holds off the advances of Zafuik. Oh, that's great from Hadji. What was I saying before? Oh dear, that's awful. That's awful! What a great save. Well, for a second there, I thought we had gifted a goal to Gamero. Really, what was I thinking with that kind of pass? Should have just taken it on the turn. Instead, now we're left defending a corner, which is going to be flighted in by David Villa. Busquets is underneath it. Gets a good header on it, to be fair to him. But now we have to defend a possible shot. Oh, my word. Guardado from range. It's difficult to tell from that angle how close he was, but I suspect he wasn't far off. That's a lovely little pass. With the outside of his boot there as well. Right, here we go. Going to make some more changes. We have 6 that we can make. And I'm thinking that we're going to give the fullbacks a little bit of love. So off comes Zafuik and Willems, and on come Yuri Ribeiro and Frimpong. And should we make a change in midfield as well? I'm thinking maybe we will. We'll throw on Jack Wilshere, who hasn't had many games for us this season. And I'll leave a couple of substitutions in reserve in case we need them. So 3 changes made, both fullbacks, brand new. And of course, when we're playing this attacking fullbacks tactic, we do need fresh men on the wing where possible. Ribeiro, pretty decent. There's not a massive amount to choose between him and Willems. I think Willems has a better range of passing. Speaking of a range of passing, what a lovely pass that is into Frimpong. Nothing doing though, he couldn't find the cross. And Silva and Guardado managed to get the ball back to Acerbi, out back onto the wing. They're playing very wide here, the old boys. As Ribeiro is underneath it, manages to somewhat win that header. Oh, nearly. Maybe should have tried the lobbed through ball instead of the plain Jane across the ground one, but never mind. Oh, Gamero turns the man, but Ribeiro has read that situation pretty well. Good pass from Wilshere. Here's Hadji. Guerrero ahead of him, takes one touch, nearly. Lovely control from Guerrero to set himself up, but the defender just a little bit too fleet of foot, able to get ahead of him and get the foot out and ultimately stop the shot from ever troubling the goalkeeper. But it will be a corner kick here, which Yuri Ribeiro will take with his left foot, out swinging, as is the tradition on this side. Frimpong trying to meet the header. It's going to go out and it's going to be another corner. This time in swinging. The left foot of Ribeiro put to use again. And it's going to come back out to Ribeiro, who will control it and put it back in. Frimpong chasing it this time. Unable to keep it in, but not a problem because it's our throw anyway. Oh, we're playing too many blind passes here. It's my fault. It's putting us in trouble. And they're getting numbers forward surreptitiously, holding it up in midfield with the passing. And then away they come. Right, here's Hernandez on the right-hand side. Lots of space ahead of him. One man in attendance. Puts in a dodgy-looking foul. And it was a foul. Don't make any mistake of that. Here's Hernandez again. Back to Hadji. Frimpong now. Cross into the box. Intercepted by Bonaventura. Another throw-in to Nottingham Forest. Here's Wilshere. Left-footed. Nowhere near, I don't think. Worth a try, though. They're very compact in their box. Very few players not in the old boys box, in fact. I'm just thinking, for the sake of this final few minutes, we should probably look to go counter-attacking. And defensively, we're going to go very high with the defensive line. And let's go quite compact as well. So we'll have more numbers in the middle if they do get it out wide. Now, Worrell needs to win this header, and he does. But it's a poor pass, and we've given them the initiative here. Wilshere puts his foot in, manages to win the ball, loses it again. Callejon. Out to Jesus Navas. Callejon again. Bremer's got it. Finds Wilshere, who in turn finds Guerrero. There's a ball over the top if he can find Hernandez. And I think he has. Yes, he has. Oh, it's a great tackle by Guardado, though. Didn't have the strength to hold him off, Hernandez. And that's all she wrote for this game. It's a 1-1 draw, which under normal circumstances, we might be a little bit disappointed by. But the big story today is the retirement of Guerrero from Nottingham Forest. He's served us well over the years. And as a few of his teammates put hands on his shoulders just to let him know what they think of him. The streamers begin to fall and players all around applaud him as he takes one final walk around the stadium as an active player of this great club. Photographers out in great numbers to take their photos for the morning papers as we look at the stats for the game, and quite an even game in the end. You'd have to say 1-1, probably a fair result, although I am still very disappointed at the nature of the goal, despite the quality of the player, it does feel like it's a bit of a get out of jail free card for the AI when it doesn't want to lose but can't find a way to beat you a little bit more naturally, shall we say. As for the player stats, well, Cavani gets the man of the match. I can understand that, given the fact that he rescued a point for his team, even though it is a friendly, and therefore there are no points. But still, it's a little bit disappointing that some of my players weren't given a better crack of the whip. Hadji getting a 7.0. I don't know. I feel like he was slightly better than that, but what can you do? It's not like I can change the AI's decision. So there we go. That was the only game of the day. So we don't need to look at any of the other fixture results. And that will do it for another episode of the Forest Job. When you return next time, it will be a brand new season. And we will have some news for you regarding transfers. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.